Let me not waste very much your time. I've put beforehand a couple of reflections about Baltic Sea strategy. And you know, the view from the Minister of Finance is a very specific view at any strategy in the country, in the EU or in the world. We are very practical. We are just looking at very details of anything that goes up, any initiative that goes up. Let me start from the point where I do like this strategy very much. And the point is that it implies a principle of 3 times no. 3 times no. No additional finance, no additional regulations, and no additional institutions. And it's really very important. Look, when creating the European Union, people started thinking from very practical things. Coal and steel union. There's trade. There's single market. Single market underlies the idea of the European Union. And then they saw that, well, we need this single market, but we are so different. How should you regulate our lives when we are so different? This way, European regulations appeared. Treaties, organizations, institutions, Commission, Council, heads of state, Court of Justice, Court of Auditors, and things like that. But then I think people started to understand that we are sometimes too similar to put the European existence only on the ground of a single market and nothing else. And here, of course, unity in diversity is another slogan of European Union that Mindaugas has already cited that I like very much. And I think this is the strength of the European Union, the strength of Europe being diverse but being united. But this unity sometimes emerges as a practical goal to be achieved. When you look at Europe, you can see a detail. You can start seeing details. We have Baltic Sea here, and Baltic region is a very natural region. It is still very diverse. We have very situated countries in this Baltic Sea region. They're not necessarily they are not members of the European Union, Norway, with its natural resources. We have very developed countries like Sweden. And we have transition countries like 3 Baltic states that strive to go up on the investment grade. So, but still, there is something that unites us. There's geographical closeness, which is objectively a factor that should be taken in account when you project your further life. So horizontal approach is another approach that has not been documented in the European Union. There's nothing to do with subsidiarity principles or any other principle that is implemented in European treaties, but it's still very, very important. We are different countries, but we work together, shoulder by shoulder. So this horizontal approach, I think, is another step forward. It appeared in 2009, so quite lately, for the first time that the Baltic region decided to be together and to devise some common topics to work upon. So this is really important to understand that this horizontal thinking, regional thinking, is another way of creating things in the European Union. But for that, of course, you need finances, of course, you need regulations, and you need institutions. What could be an example of these factors? How should you deal with finance, for example? Alignment of financial resources is absolutely necessary to implement the projects that we are looking, for example, in the video. Railway is a very expensive thing. Energy networks are very expensive things. Even ecology of the Baltic Sea is a very expensive thing. So proper alignment of financial resources is a key. But you still work within the present framework of European finance. Not only European finance, there's another idea that came up very recently in the informal ECOFIN in Vilnius in September. We discussed the new initiative of European Investment Bank and European Commission, how to make synergy of EIB resources, structural funds and private funding, for crediting, giving credits to small and medium enterprises. So the same approach could be applied in very many projects, even the largest ones, from smallest SMEs to largest ones, energy projects. Synergy of European national and private sources is absolutely necessary. From public and private sources is absolutely necessary. What we should do is to think how to realize this. Now, another resource that is absolutely needed for success is human resources. How to collect everything, how to make synergy of all the actors possible. And the actors are not only bureaucrats in Brussels, not only bureaucrats in different ministries in different countries. We have 14 ministries in Lithuania. I think other countries around the Baltic Sea have the same or even larger number of ministries. Of course, these resources should be put together to get the result, if it is a cross-sectoral result. But we also must include academia. It's absolutely indispensable to get academia involved. We must reinforce the human resources with the resources from NGOs, which are of different level of development in different our countries, but they cooperate together. We must take businesses on board. And here the main problem arises. Really the main problem that I see with the Baltic Sea strategy and other macro-regional strategies in the European Union. Danube, which is already working, but a couple of others that will be arising. This is governance. And in the governance, of course, coordination is necessary, but ownership is key. Ownership. I think we still lack ownership. Both within the countries, but also across the European Union. So that is why we really must think about it and get some ways forward. Now, what way forward? Action. First of all, planning of 2014-2020. It is a very lucky moment for us. We are facing the new financing period. We have all possibilities to arrange all financial resources and all projecting so as to also comply with the goals of the Baltic Sea strategy. But also, I think what is very needed, networking and sharing best practices. And this is a perfect possibility to do this here in Vilnius, where you have this village. You have lots of meetings to follow. So I think this is the way forward. So let me stop with asking you all and us to think regionally. I think this will help. Thank you.